The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest be coming through, dropping knowledge on all of you. Get a peek at the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay silent just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. Well, we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can see us, like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dough. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
Good. All right. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Sirr 2020 Reviews, and we got another one collabing with my best friend in the whole world, Mr. Wyatt Stokes, and I got my little brother in here, Fandom's Anonymous.
Yo,
man, bruh, let's just hit the flow running, bruh.
Ooh, shit.
Justice League Dark Apokolips War.
Dark ain't the word. First of all, dark is not the word. This damn movie should have been called Justice League. God damn shit up.
Bruh, this movie is violent. You hear me, bruh? The crazy thing is I've always been pandering. Like, I love when DC go rated R. They just need to keep going rated R. And yeah, it was one of the moments where it's like, oh, you want a nigga? Nigga, here now.
Here you go. There you go.
Bruh, I told everybody when I first saw this, like, there's a little group chat with like some of my frat brothers, and I was like, stop what y'all doing and watch this goddamn movie. Like,
watch this shit.
Because I was telling them, like, it was so crazy. To me, it just seemed like what we wanted from like Endgame, like as far as the fighting scenes throughout the whole movie, and that's what the crazy part was. So, like, no matter what happened, it was just somebody dying here, and like everybody got it, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They didn't shy away from anybody dying, and it was kind of funny in some context. There was there's a scene that happened that when we get to it, I'm a blatantly discuss it. So spoiler warning. But there's a scene that happened where they just disregard somebody dying, and I died laughing because they didn't even acknowledge it. Now, granted, they didn't have time to. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, oh, so that's how we go.
I know what you're talking about.
So, to those of you that don't know, to all the Marvel heads out there that don't know, because DC fans know, DC's animated movies are pristine.
Yeah.
A+ quality. Animation is always great. Storylines are fantastic. Even if they deviate from the comics, they still put an interesting twist on it, which made me want to cover this because I'll be honest, I've always been leaning towards Marvel when it comes to my movies and superhero choices. But this movie kind of brought me back to the leaning to the DC side, especially with animation. What did y'all think about the quality of the artwork here?
Well, for me, I've been a champion for the DC animated movies forever because they've always been top notch. The Marvel animated movies is just pure trash. I'm sorry. They garbage. They garbage. I mean, that Doctor Strange one was good. I was about to say Wolverine, and that Wolverine versus Hulk, that was trash. I mean, but the DC animated movies, especially what they've been doing with this current universe of movies, like this is almost Marvel. Like, this has been 7 years worth of animated storytelling that they've been doing, which concludes with this movie. So I've always said DC give me the animated movies, Marvel gives me the live action movies. Definitely not the damn movies they be having put out. That's why they on Hulu.
Yeah, I think their animated movies, even before they called it the animated universe, even when they had like, Batman Under the Red Hood, like that was the one part where Red Hood threw the lieutenants' heads in a duffel bag to the bosses and was like, these were your lieutenants, these are the people. It took me an hour to get these folks. Think what I could do in a whole night. Like when they started doing stuff like that, like I felt like DC was not necessarily, they were moving their stuff towards the adult version of it. And they was like, well, listen, we can't compete on these real life ones, but y'all can't touch us on these animated ones, because they had the freedom to kind of do what they wanted to.
Yeah, and it was a slow progression. It wasn't a lot of language when they first started doing these movies. But as the time started going, he was like, wait a minute. Oh, they cussing. Like they and it wasn't heavy, but they them F-bombs and they started just making it for what it was.
I think it was like the best kept secret. Like, so if you were like a true like fan nerd, like a guy that really appreciated the services, like you could be like Under the Red Hood, and then after that you caught one other ones, and they all just started growing as far as that's concerned with the Justice League. So then it was a best kept secret up until like they started a trend. It's kind of like how it was with Iron Man and all the rest of these movies. Like if you wasn't there shooting in the gym, like you didn't see it when it first came out. You know what I mean? Where it was straight to DVD and everything like that. So that's one of those things where they didn't have faith in it, but the fans showed out for it.
Yeah, I remember the Red Hood was like a benchmark for me and you, Wyatt, because it was then we were roommates. Because me and you watched it at the same time, and we was like, bruh, if this would have released in movies, this would have killed in the box office. And you're right. It was like a progression of they were pushing the benchmark. Like, how far can we go? How far can we go? How far can we go? And we followed with them from the start. So yeah, I definitely see it.
But even when they first started, like these were tailored for adults. Like these weren't like, I think this was the part where, I hate to say it, but Warner Brothers and DC was just like everybody wanted to have their hands in the cookie jar when it came to like how the DC like not the animated, but the movie universe was going. Whereas this was, but then like they just kind of were like, yeah, y'all go ahead and do what y'all want to. And then they started making these fantastic movies, and they was like, no, nobody's over here but us. And that's what made them great, because I don't feel like the big wigs had their hands in these. These were more, even if they weren't like, Hush wasn't like verbatim like everything that happened in Hush, but it was so much true to the story, and there's so many great storylines that they just keep pulling from them and kind of making them tie together, which is a really good part.
Yeah, it was I'm never bored with those DC animated movies. That's the thing. And it's Marvel has these periods of really good opening, middle, and right before you get too bored, that's when the final act picks up. Right. I felt like DC animated movies doesn't have that formula. They punch you in the stomach in the beginning and leave you with like a question of how in the hell did they get here? Or how are they going to get out of this? And then they go into the story. By then they have you. So, and I think they paced it really well with the action and storytelling, because it was like hand over hand over hand over hand. It was bit by bit they walked you through.
Hey, so I want to say this before we get too much into like the review and everything. But if y'all haven't seen Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, please go see that one. Shredder and Batman. Shredder and Batman go.
Throw hands.
Just go see it, because like it still got the humor of the Ninja Turtles. Like I think that was the best one that like has a mixture of, you can have your kids go see it with you, versus you can still know that they got hands, because Shredder was still throwing.
Shredder throwing major hands.
Yeah.
Have you caught that, Jeremy? You caught that?
When it first came out. Yeah. Because I always thought, Batman's from the. Oh no, Batman is not.
No.
Oh, yeah, and I enjoy that. I like when you think someone is overpowered and you think they're just going to have a situation or they're just going to be dominant throughout the whole movie. That's not the case. And I feel like Apokolips War kind of played into that really well because, we might as well get to the story. Superman hatches a plan. Let's go beat up Apocalypse, pretty much.
Let's run up in that nigga
fight
shit.
Darkseid. Let's just go over there and swing on him. And Batman and the others are like, you might need to think this out a little bit more.
Hey, Batman there was like Kodak Black on the on the Breakfast Club. We finna go get Darkseid. I think so.
Right. Right.
Superman was just still low key mad because he got punked and he got killed.
He got killed.
Yeah.
Look at goddamn it! This motherfucker killed me. He killed me. The boy, Superman. He killed me.
Bro, he was still mad because Doomsday gave him them hands. And he didn't know. He was like, "Oh man, so now we got to go get it now." Everybody was like, "We're gonna rock with you." But
right.
We don't really need to. So everybody, they tried to tell him, but no, he was adamant about getting.
That nigga Adam. The nigga say, "You see this S on my chest? I'm Superman, nigga. I died. I'm back. We got to go get this nigga."
Bruh. I feel like Flash and Constantine were like the only niggas who's like,
yeah.
What? Flash was like, look, people gonna die. Constantine like, nah, nigga. Niggas gonna die for real.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like the very next scene, they was rolling up.
They was in the car. They was they were 3 spaceships deep. First of all, I'm sick of how they pimping out my nigga Cyborg like this nigga just a damn Android operating system. This nigga Darkseid sitting there flipping the channel. This nigga Darkseid flipping the channel like, this what I'm gonna watch today. Let's see what that damn Justice League got going on. Click. Oh, these niggas finna pull up. Oh, all right, bet.
Right.
He should have upgraded his Norton antivirus. That's all I'm saying.
He needed a new VPN. That's what it
that
was.
Nigga, he need that web route.
Bruh, when they were talking and you just seen Darkseid like this, I was
all
like,
right.
Niggas finna get hurt.
Hey, what the song on TikTok be like? You gonna die?
The little Africans marching around, bruh.
Bruh, exactly.
That next scene, bruh, when I seen the flood of creatures coming, I was like, okay, they used to this. But then they said, oh, those are Darkseid infused demons. Or not dark.
They're a Paradoom. Like this nigga Darkseid just said, all right, y'all on the way. Let me mechanically engineer something else for y'all.
I mean, y'all had trouble with one Doomsday, and they got wings now? I was like, oh.
They can fly?
To those of you that don't know, Doomsday is basically the one who beat to death Superman. So let's think about that for a moment. Now take that nigga and put him in an Iron Man suit. They had an army of those.
a demonic Iron Man suit at that.
They didn't go to church on Sunday. They were not baptized.
No.
They came in.
Doomsday had Red Bull. That's what it was.
Indeed.
He got wings.
They wanted all the smoke you could possibly muster.
Yeah. And while all of them had that white hair too, though, that was the messed up part about it.
But just for men, just for Dooms.
Just for me.
But I want to go back a little bit because before all this started, you saw Constantine and Zatanna were kind of like having an intimate moment. Zatanna thick, boy, tell you the truth.
Bruh.
And that kind of carries over from Constantine's City of Demons movie, where they had like in a relationship, and he kind of had started the Justice League Dark low key with like the Jersey Devil and Etrigan and all those. And so this kind of started the thread of everything tying together. Yeah. Like that's when it officially started, when you saw the Justice League being addressed by Superman. Then you saw the Teen Titans being addressed. Like he was it was basically the Avengers scene before everybody died, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It was Avengers Assemble, but reversed. So you thinking, oh, they got the squad here. And you get the SpongeBob 3 years later.
Exactly.
Shit is going
decimation.
Right.
I knew something was gonna be up when Zatanna was like, they started out saying Zatanna was telling him, "I love you." I was like, "Oh, that can't be good."
You sound like you choking up a little bit now. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Ain't good.
Ain't nothing even happened. Then the alarm go off. I was like, "Oh no, that's not looking good."
Right. After that point, you just see that Earth is decimated. It looked like Fallout, if you've ever played Fallout. We come back to John Constantine and he's drinking.
Radiation.
Right. Radiation poison, where your rad's at. So Etrigan is there passed out because he's drunk and depressed. And Raven shows up with a hooded figure and they're trying to recruit Constantine to come and help.
We're here for the doomsday. We're here for the dark side initiative.
Right. Before the mixtape dropped, the Doomsday Squad showed up. And it turns out the hooded figure was Superman, but he's not so super anymore. That's when I liked the storytelling aspect. That's when it kicked in. Exactly. Enjoyed it because they started to go back and show what exactly happened 3 years ago that caused all of this. And they did it. Did you guys notice they did it character by character?
Yes.
Which was
bit by bit.
Yes. They didn't give it all to you because it literally had me in the back of my head. Well, damn, if that happened to Superman, what if Aquaman? Like, it literally had me thinking like that.
Oh, we saw what happened to Aquaman.
Yeah.
All of them.
So,
and like the one thing I really liked about it was like, even like going back just a second, like I liked how even there were certain characters that were like secondary characters, they still showed up on the Justice League. So you didn't, I forgot about Mira really being there just because, she was in the second Justice League movie and that was about it. You know what I mean? So and a lot of those things were really, really cool because of the fact that you got to see just where even the secondary characters got fucked up with them. It wasn't just, the main 3 or 5 that they had. It was a bunch of them.
Right. They touched on a lot of characters. And they were in the background too. That's the other part I like. I really want to go back and watch it again just to see who all was in the background that I missed. But it was great seeing a bunch of people that we touched down with.
See, you have to do that whenever they do some type of animated Justice League because especially going back to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoon, you can watch any given episode when they're in the watchtower and spot 10 to 15 different heroes that might not have titular parts in the episode or in the whole series as a whole. We like, oh, there go Elongated Man. We didn't really touch. He's not a main person, but they go that person, they go that person, they go that hero, they go that hero. Like you can really look through that crowd and point out different heroes all through like what you call probably the C-list Justice League members. So I like
kind of like what they did with the X-Men, where they used to have like the other characters in there, but they were non-speaking roles. Like Black Panther was in a couple episodes.
Spider-Man.
So it was really cool. I like that too, just because some of those were non-speaking roles, and even when it came to like the Teen Titans too. Like where you got to see some of them get like massacred, but then you got to see Blue Beetle in the background get fucked up. Yeah. So you got to see all of these things, and it wasn't like let's put an emphasis on it. It's a war. You don't have time for emphasis. You got to keep going.
Right. Fact. So Easter eggs galore. So I wanted to ask you guys because I'm pretty sure all of us would probably have a different response on this. And we can go one by one, probably starting with you, Malcolm. What was your favorite action scene? And what was your favorite emotionally driven scene?
Favorite action scene for me was when that boy Constantine was going at it with Cyborg Wonder Woman. And he saw that lasso. He was like, oh, yeah, love. he was like, it's a little bit of magic. You must have forgot. He started speaking whatever shit he was talking. He grabbed that damn lasso. He said, remember who you are. And she was like, I am the daughter of a popular. I stood in front of the team. I said, talk your shit. Talk your shit. that was the deepest scene because that showed you how people be sleeping on Constantine. That man is freaking powerful. This man got the lasso of truth and turned it back on the owner.
Right.
To get her out of that daze that she was in or being programmed by Darkseid. I think the emotional part was Trigon trying to let Raven know, like, look, you done put me in this damn headpiece. I've been in here for the last 3.5 movies. I got your back, dog. Just let me out there, man. Like, for real, man. Like, I ain't trying to fight no more, man. They gonna get some pancakes and waffles after this is over with. I ain't trying to fight no more, baby girl. Let's let your dad out.
Right.
She let that nigga out. It was a wrap.
Fact. Wyatt, what you got, bro?
So I like the scene where so I like it when Etrigan started fighting with Wonder Woman. Like he was a lost soul, and he was just like, he's like, nigga, you didn't tell me she was fighting, so now I got some reason to fight. Mm-hmm. So
that's all that nigga want to do.
Yeah. Once what's his name? Blood, I think it was, or whatever is the alternate personality who died, and that's the reason why he was sad.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So once, like, he found another reason, even though, like, and that's the one thing I liked about it, like, you thought everybody was going to live, or you had an idea that these main characters were going to live. Etrigan didn't live, nothing like that. Me personally, I thought the most emotional side for me was that kind of like what you were saying with Trigon, but it was when he was just like, once he got out, and then after that, he was like, he told his daughter it was okay to leave him here and to kind of do that, because he said something similar to the fact of, like, you know, all parents care for their children. And so, you know, for that to happen, he was like, listen, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to fight him, but you go ahead and get out of here. Like, this, you my legacy. So that was the one thing that kind of, like, as a parent, I was like, well, I get that. I'm not fighting Doomsday for nobody, though. But
right. Right. Sorry, baby girl.
Right. Yeah, Ben on his own on that one. Listen. Yeah, Ben on his own on that one, bro.
Right. I'm gonna say my favorite action scene will probably be when Trigon possessed Superman.
Woo!
It was like, yeah, nigga. It was like, you know, he was like, Cal, who's this Cal nigga? You're like, nah, bro, ain't no Cal here, bitch. Ain't no Cal here. Run it, nigga. Yeah, and it was on site, like literally between those two. And those of you that don't know, Trigon is one of the many, many, many old gods that was ousted by the new gods. And Darkseid is not the leader of the new gods. He's just one of the. Darkseid isn't one of those who talk. He just do. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those. All right, if it is what it is, swing something. Like, yeah, he ain't gonna do all of this. He's just gonna punch you or destroy you or whatever it is. As far as action scenes goes, that whole way it played out was everything to me, because seeing the kryptonite burn out of him and get replaced with the hellfire was dope to me. Most emotional scene though for me, it's gonna sound sappy, but Lois dying, man. Lois letting Superman know that, yo, you know, I ain't gonna make it, fam. It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know, this is what we got to do to save the world. I holler at you. And she took all of them with her, you know. And now that I think about it, a lot of people died. Like right there, that explosion.
Yeah. A whole Suicide Squad. Harley Quinn, Boomerang, King Shark.
Yeah. And I gotta bring this up. The fact that Constantine admitted that King Shark is his ex.
Yeah. I ain't been.
Is that a woman? I don't understand.
Right.
I ain't been too jiggy with that. Never mind. We ain't gonna talk about that. Go ahead.
I just thought it was funny how he brought it up, because I thought he was talking about Harley. You know what I'm saying? Because Harley then ran through a couple people. You know what I'm saying? In the Suicide Squad legacy, because I think she smashed Deadshot too, didn't she?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
In the first one.
Yeah. So yeah, it was crazy, and those were some scenes that hit me hard. I also liked the nod that Trigon did to his daughter. It was like, "Yo, baby girl, it's the best gift you could have gave me. I'll at you," and he went to scribing again. Excellent stuff, man. Going to the end, what I didn't like, being a fan of Cyborg, seeing Cyborg reduced to Windows 10 in a movie. I was like, come on, bro. Like, give us something. Like, come
that
on.
nigga was literally our operating system.
Bruh, for a planet. And
but in its defense, though, like some of the main characters, like even with like the Flash, you didn't see the Flash do any fighting for real either. You know what I mean?
That nigga was the battery for the planet.
Yeah. So like there's some characters that I think that had gotten their shine in earlier movies where they were just trying to give their shine to some other characters, which
correct.
Of course I'd love to see Cyborg kind of go off, but he went off in, I think it was the first Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm. And he went off in the Teen Titans versus Justice League.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I understand that, I'd love to see him Hulk back up that one time when he first came out the little tube and he started incorporating that was dope. But I understand, like, he got put into a wall and he was just like, yeah, he was a glorified. He was
the firewall.
He was an iPad shuffle. That's what he was.
Brother. I really liked that everybody played a part. Even the people that died went out with like a bang. Shout out to Shazam. He took that literally. Everybody who died, what
about the Green Lanterns?
Man.
John Stewart
went out like a whole. He went out like a G, bro. He did.
Bro, Darkseid didn't have to do him that dirty, bro.
That nigga called Batman. That nigga called Batman and said, "Hey, bro, drop some magma at 086." I was like, "Shit,
bro." Let me tell you how petty he is, though. Let's really examine this. Darkseid wins pettiest villain of all time.
Yeah,
he turned basically God, who is Superman, into a regular nigga.
Yeah.
He turned.
Wait. He did Superman like Fable. Tear it up.
Right. He made Batman his secretary.
Clerk 1.
Bruh. And it
was he made the Flash the Energizer Buddy.
Yeah.
Kept going and going.
Bruh, that really makes it dope that he had that mindset to utilize everybody to their full capacity, even in a fucked up way.
We thought Batman had a contingency plan. He had the contingency plan for all them niggas as well.
Right. And which also goes back into the Doom movie. You know what I'm saying? Where everything played into Vandal Savage and everything, but man, it really made me think like, damn. Going back to John Stewart, of all ways he could have killed, because you got to remember, Darkseid was like, don't bother me. He was just floating around blasting niggas. Headshot.
Killer Wall, all them niggas.
This nigga placed a phone call, called Amazon Batman, and had magma rush delivered to his location, which he pinged, and dropped lava on him. Bruh, I was like, this nigga is something else, bruh.
And the lantern at the same time, because he was trying to get that last power up to take him out. And then he was almost finished with the pledge. So Green Lantern's light was all he had left to say. He killed him and blew up the lantern at the same time. He's like, okay, I'm done. It kind of reminded me of, like, you know how in Infinity War they were like, let Thanos have his fun. This was let Thanos have his fun, but it was for Darkseid. He just was like, just let me go to Oa real quick, because I know. He's like, I know. I was like, I hate doing this bureaucrat shit. So let me go to Oa real quick and start some shit so I can blow off some steam. And that's why he told him don't bother him. He's like, he said something to the extent of like, I'm a conqueror who needs to conquer. So he was done doing all his like logistics. He was like, I did my homework. Now I'm gonna go outside and play. That's all he wanted to do.
Bruh. That's legit how he told this shit to Batman. Look here. He told that shit to Batman like a mama leaving to go to work. All right, now y'all, I'm finna go to work. Take that chicken out the freezer. Don't call me while I'm at work. And you better take the goddamn chicken out the freezer.
Did you know that he didn't even look up when Batman called him? He kind of kept his back to him. He's like, I'm just going to assume this is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was mad. He was like, bro, you knew what I told you. He gave him that, what did I just tell you to do?
Did I tell you not call me while I'm at work?
Mm-hmm.
Well, mama, we don't know what chicken to take out the freezer.
He's like, wait a second. Before you do anything else, I just want to say this is going on Earth, and I need your okay for this. He's like, you can handle it, right? So why are you calling me?
Fact.
Why are you calling me?
Something else I noticed too, just for character, I guess character exposure. They used a lot of characters from the Injustice 2 game. I don't know if anybody really noticed that. And they got like high moments, which I was really digging. Like I think there was even a flash of Captain Cold in it, like in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
I was like, Captain Cold, nigga? Like,
yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, overall, man, I really enjoyed this movie. Not only for the fact of the gore, because there's plenty of it,
but it's meaningful gore. So here's the thing. Yeah. So the same people that did, so I got to give it to the writers, because the same people that does the animation for this, they did it for Mortal Kombat. And Mortal Kombat, the one for Scorpion, I didn't really like, just because it was gory for no reason. Yeah. And I understand it's Mortal Kombat, but like the storyline has to go along with it to make it worthwhile. And so the shock and yeah, you can stop. Yeah, because like Jeremy put me on Mortal Kombat and kind of like the lore that goes along with it. And so when it came to like listening and kind of going to this, and like I understand they're going to take some dramatic licensing with it, but in the same instance, it didn't feel like a completed story. They were just trying to take the animation. And so from what I was just getting to was that DC has it where the animation and the gore is needed, but it's not necessarily just kind of shoved in your face just because.
Right. It isn't just to show gore. It's to show legit
consequence.
Okay, this is how fucked up it got. Mm-hmm. Like Darkseid was like, this is equivalent. They might as well call this Justice League Dark Apokolips War. You tried it. Because they got destroyed. Going to the timeline, I printed out the timeline because I want to see how far back as far as like literal time this goes. And it's funny, everything started with Justice League Flashpoint back in 2013.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing way to start and finish this. Because with the ending, they got Flash to break his vow to the now deceased Iris of going back and doing another Flashpoint. And he agrees to do it because of the state of the world. And
the Earth was literally about to explode.
Right. Constantine was like, it can't be worse than what's going on here, bro.
Right.
It can't be worse.
He just walked up, pat that nigga on the shoulder, like, hey, bro. Go run your ass, bro. Run your ass.
Go ahead.
Hit that reset.
Run your ass, bro.
So with that, they had the white light coming, wiping over everything, undoing everything. And what's interesting is I hate when they use time to undo stuff, but in this case,
you had no choice.
Finishing how you started made complete sense. And so just like with the DC comics, there's always one event that ends an arc but starts a new one. I'm excited to see what the next 7, 10, 12 years is going to be.
They really had no choice but doing the Flashpoint. It's either that or we're all going to die because the Earth is literally finna to crumble with 31% of the thing that keeps the Earth going no longer exists. So we either about to burn to death or we about to freeze to death.
Right.
Which one y'all want to do?
Right. Because they did mention that with the magma being depleted, the Earth was out of orbit, like where it should have been. And so, like you said, we was either going to freeze to death or burn to death. So, which is great. I'm glad somebody thought that far out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all Apokolips is. It's just a planet that's a battery form. So once that happened to us, once we were depleted and those batteries were destroyed, shit, it's nothing left, you know?
It is what it is.
So it was a good ending, but it wasn't a good ending, if that makes sense.
So what do y'all think the next series of animated movies are going to be about?
I think, of course, they'll start something off with another Justice League. They might change the animation up just a tad bit to make it look more fresh. And they'll start, hopefully they work with another big bad, like an Apokolips style bad. Who that would be, I don't know. I couldn't even put a name on it right now, but I think that would be the direction they would go in.
I hope they take this momentum from the Watchmen HBO series and the resurgence of them to do the Doomsday Clock. At least I think they could start with that, because with Dr. Manhattan being kind of like God, for lack of a better term, I think that'd be a good way to go ahead and say, okay, this is where Dr. Manhattan starts. This is where it's going to go from here, because Watchmen has some really good characters that I would love to see as villains. Ozymandias would be phenomenal. Because I honestly, Wyatt and I used to have this ongoing joke where we used to say, if Dr. Doom and Lex Luthor ever clicked up, we're fucked. Like, that's it. But now I would say if we sprinkle some Ozymandias planning like in that, yeah, we're probably done. So I would like.
We even got to really sprinkle too much, like a pinch.
Right. He just be like, you need to do it on this day, like, and everything else will go.
Mm-hmm. I want y'all to take this journey with me and just kind of follow with me on this one.
Let's go.
I want them to do a future series of DC. So I want them to do the Batman Beyonds. I want them to do like the Superman. So then also like maybe the next generation of who's running as far as like a Flash and things like that, because there's a lot more material for that point. And plus you can have the next generation, so you can kind of start new people, and then you can end up going back and having kind of a flashpoint on that series. Either that, or I want them to do, and this is crazy too, I want them to do the Metal series, the Batman, the Dark Batman.
Oh.
So then after that, like you can't go wrong with either one of those, I think. Because
dope story.
In Batman Beyond, there's a couple different episodes or a couple different comic series where I think they talk about why Damian isn't the future Batman. The effed up story with Bruce Wayne and Barbara, and like right after Robin left, the first Robin, Dick Grayson left, Barbara and Batman start sleeping together, and she gets pregnant, and then after that he comes back as Nightwing, but she's 6 weeks pregnant, and she only been back with Dick Grayson for 3 weeks. All this shit. Like, so I think there's a bunch of different material that you can go with from that point to explain how they get to a certain point, why these certain characters aren't there. You know what I mean? And then even like a future Red Hood, Barbara Gordon, all the rest of it. Because I think, honestly, that's what I want. I'm just a big fan of Batman Beyond. I either want them to do a live action of it or at least do the animated version.
Right. I can respect that. Like, instead of the same Justice League we've been getting, move with those characters with their future selves. And even have the old Bruce Wayne in there directing, what was his boy name? Terry. Directing Terry, on and move and whatnot. So yeah, that would be legit.
Oh yeah, and then even the part about, because it turns out that Terry McGinnis ends up being a clone of Batman. And it's by Amanda Waller. So like having that whole story and having him not find that out until maybe the first or the second movie, those kinds of things. And then even it gives you more, I think it gives you more opportunity to make new characters. So if they made even a future, Suicide Squad. You know what I mean, and have new characters from that point. Those kinds of things I think would be really, really nice to see.
Oh yeah,
man, bro. This is why I like convening with y'all, because we get some awesome ideas, and we get to have that fangasm. You know what I'm saying? To kind of compare ideas and see and be hopeful for what the future holds, man. So, if you guys would like to see more of this, leave comments, likes, dislikes. If you agree with us, don't agree with us. If you think we're stupid, let us know. We like to. We like all this. Better back it up, though.
I wish you would say some stupid shit.
Let me know what you think, and I shall bring the wrath of Wakanda upon you.
Yes.
Yo, you know what? I just thought of a scary thought, though. What if in the next movie they put like Trigun and Darkseid, they fuse together?
Ooh.
I don't know how they're gonna beat that.
Almost as if the new Flashpoint didn't affect them because they were in some type of alternate parallel or something.
Which they were.
Because they went to they said that he was boom tombing them to nowhere.
Yeah. So Flashpoint wouldn't even affect them for real.
So,
which they could easily call back to this past iteration of movies.
Yo, that might be the thread. That might just be the thread. I'm gonna have to soak on that. Because that's deep. I didn't even think of that till you just said something just now, man. But
that's a scary motherfucker,
bruh.
I don't want no parts of him,
bruh. But that being said, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all coming out. We're gonna have to do this again. There's other movies coming out that we definitely got to talk about. I'm still hopeful that we'll get Black Widow this year. You know,
it is August. Black Widow comes out in August.
Bet. They just moved it back by 4 months.
Cool. So birthday month. Bet. All right, gentlemen. Well, again, I've been your boy Sirr. Fandom's Anonymous. My brother Wyatt Stokes. You know what it is. We out.